Hello there, it's Martin Magic Moon here. So in this video, I thought I would talk a little bit about starseeds. What is a starseed and where do they come from? Well, a starseed can be anyone that's incarnated on another planet, another solar system, another galaxy. There are many, many different worlds out there. Even you can have a starseed from the inner Earth. I am a starseed, and some of you out there are starseeds. And here are some of the places that starseeds may be from. Andromedans. There are a few Andromedan starseeds on Earth. Not as many as you might think. And Andromedan starseeds tend to be good healers and quite spiritual. And they're generally quite carefree and like a lot of freedom and want to be out and about and don't like sticking to certain rules and regulations, and it's always in them to move on, but they're generally good-souled people. After Andromedans, we have Pleadians. Many people think they're Palladian starseeds, and there is a good few Palladian starseeds on Earth. Not quite as many as you think. I have lived on the Pleiades, and I will go into that another time. But Palladian starseeds are creative, empathic, they love nature, very caring people. They always want to help. They're quite sensitive. Palladian starseeds can experience anxiety and depression in this world because we're not meant for this world. And it puts so many restrictions on us that our soul, the real you is your soul, can't always take it. And when you come from another world, it can get you down a bit. So what about Sirian starseeds? Sirius is an amazing star. There's Sirius A, Sirius B, and there used to be Sirius C, and apparently Sirius C may not be there like it used to be, but it's still partly there. It did lose its part. Some of the planets lost its orbit, and the star did apparently dim a little bit. But Sirius is a little bit like Earth in some ways. There is a few planets around Sirius that have a multitude of different life. It's very diverse, some of the Sirian planets. I have seen some Sirian races, and they're amazing. Sirians are great at engineering. It's a thing that they have. They're brilliant engineering. Mathematical, they're very good. They're also good healers. But emotionally, they don't always express themselves that well. So if you're a Sirian starseed, and sometimes you struggle to get your emotions out, that could be why. And also, Sirian starseeds like spiritual things and mystical things and ancient times. And if that's you, maybe you are a Sirian starseed. And the love of animals, dogs and maybe cats. Sirius is the dog star. There is a race of wolf people from Sirius. They've evolved till they're almost humanoid with dog, wolf-like features. But they're very intelligent race. They were at one time, very warrior race as well, and very brave. And that could be a trait of a Sirian starseed. But there's so much life on Sirius. There's Sirian blue people. There's Sirians that look very much like us. There's even, on Sirius B, a race of reptilians. Now, the reptilian race on Sirius, they have caused a few issues in the past with some people. But they're not that great, but they're not the worst at all. So, talking of reptilians, you could be a reptilian starseed. Now, I don't believe a full reptilian Draco would come to Earth as a starseed, because it's just beneath their soul. It's just beneath them. They see us as beneath them anyway. But there are many races of reptilians. There's hybrid reptilians. There are some okay races of reptilians. They're not all evil. They're not my favourite race out there in the galaxy. Another time I might go into maybe why, but they're not all bad at all. But they are manipulative. They have that in them. They can manipulate quite well. And they're very driven. Very science and technology. They love science and technology and money. So, maybe you could be a reptilian starseed. Reptilian starseeds are also very good in the military. Yeah, reptilians are very militarized in their natural way. Yeah, that's what they're for. They're for military, the army. That's what reptilians love. So people in the army that go way up high, army captains, majors, that are very strong leaders, very emotionally hard, could maybe be reptilian starseeds. Also, politicians, some of them are most definitely reptilian starseeds. And next, we have Lyran starseeds. Lyra is an amazing constellation. The biggest star, the brightest star in Lyra is Vega. But Vega is a little weird because it's nearer to Sirius than the rest of Lyra. So a lot of Sirians see Vega as kind of in Lyra, but kind of in them as well. And they all see the constellations a little different to how we see them. But Lyran starseeds are brilliant in many ways. Very spiritual and love animals. They love to travel. And exotic things, even sensual things, and sensory things, and the wilderness, and natural things, Lyrans love. We all have, every race has their bad traits, and Lyrans are an amazing race at starting things. They can invent things and they can get anything started. But sometimes it's finishing them that Lyran starseeds have a problem with. I'm a bit like that sometimes. And I have lived on Lyra. I have lived on Vega. It may be my original home. And then maybe I went to the Pleiades or somewhere else. But yeah, sometimes Lyrans need help on finishing projects. Especially, we're very creative as well, Lyrans. And you could have thousands of ideas. They can be half done, 3/4 done, and then it's like, oh, can't do this anymore. But that's Earth that gives you that. It's what Earth weighs you down to stop that. And each different starseed race has things that Earth puts on them negatively. So we have Arcturian starseeds. Now Arcturus they're amazing. I've not actually spoke to too many people that have had memories of actually being on Arcturus, but many people actually believe they are Arcturian starseeds. And Arcturian starseeds are very clever. They love mathematical things and have great knowledge. And they're also good at listening as well. But on Earth, Arcturian starseeds, because they can learn very quick and they can gain so much knowledge that Earth puts things on us. So some Arcturian starseeds may get a little bit big-headed, or their ego can get a little bit big. But generally Arcturian starseeds are very confident, and they can be good like community leaders as well, because Arcturians are generally good people, Arcturian starseeds. And there's so many different races of Arcturians as well. I mean, we see the green Arcturians, or there's like purpley kind of Arcturians, but there's also some more humanoid looking Arcturians. The green and sort of purpley skinned Arcturians that some of us may know of are not human, as Pleadians and Lyrans and Orions maybe. Now talking of Orions, Orion is a vast constellation. You could be an Orion seed. There are many, many Orion starseeds here. There was great wars in Orion. Massive destruction. Absolutely catastrophic it was. I can go into that another time. I have a little information about that. But a lot of Orion starseeds couldn't go back to the planet where they were from. So they incarnated on Earth. And they always feel that little sense of loss, because their real home is not there. There are still many, many planets in Orion. Many. And such vast life there. But Orion starseeds can be very military as well. They are good in the army. They're also quick learners. They love science as well. And that sometimes they have problems with their emotions, like expressing them, and can be a little emotionally hard. Not the same as, say, reptilians, but yeah, just not as emotional as you might think people should be at times. And we have starseeds that don't even come from the stars. We have some inner Earth starseeds. There are races like the Anshar and the Agarthans that are based in the inner Earth. The inner Earth is meant to be such an amazing place. I would love to go there. And they live in the sort of mid-fourth dimension, higher than we do. And some of them races have been there for millions of years. I've I've heard information and stories about people who have been to the inner earth. But people from the inner earth, if you're a starseed from the inner earth, you will love this earth. You'll be very environmental. And also they're very emotional as well. And we can even have starseeds from this solar system. There was life on Venus. There still probably is some sort of life around Venus. Whether it's underground. A lot of planets have a lot of underground life. And we have Venusian starseeds. People from Venus have visited this planet many, many times. And they are good healers too. And very sensual and passionate. And they're also very clever-minded as well. And Mars, there was lots of life on Mars. If you love fire and love Mars, if Mars is like always been a place that you want to go and feel drawn to, then you could be a Martian starseed. And always a sense of like wanting to leave Earth, but not this solar system. And you could be a Meldeck starseed. A starseed from the planet Meldeck. Or some call it Tiamat. It was where the asteroid belt is now. It was a big planet. Have you ever wondered why there's such a gap? It's almost like two slightly different solar systems within this solar system. You've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. Then there's the asteroid belt, and there is such a gap between Mars and Jupiter. But there was a big planet there called Meldeck that was destroyed a long time ago. Over a few million years ago. Some say way more, 64 million years ago at least, possibly 500 million, some people say. I can't give an exact date, and I don't have a great connection to Meldeck. I don't think I was there, but I know a little bit about the people and what happened. I could do another short video on that maybe. But if you're a Meldeckian starseed, you will still love this solar system, but there will always be a sense of loss. Like you can't find your real home because it's not there. So you have to settle for Earth. And Earth is all you really know now. And there are so many other places. Places like Procyon. There is a lot of life in the star Procyon in the Canis Major system. They're very determined people. And they'll fight for justice. And what they believe in. And they have helped races when they have come into problems before, the people of Procyon. Similar to Spica in Virgo. I've had visions of the planet Spica before. It seems quite amazing. But they're a warrior race and they get the job done. But they're naturally good people. And Cassiopeia. I don't know too many people, or I've not really spoke to too many people that believe They have lived lives on Cassiopeia, but I have lived at least one life on Cassiopeia, on such an amazing planet. I will make a short video about that. But I feel if you're a Cassiopeian starseed, you're probably drawn to the more mystical side of things and magical side of things. And you'll love bright colours. The colours I've seen on Cassiopeia are, we can't even see them colours. And you could even be a starseed from Centaurus, like Alpha Centauri. Alpha Centauris are great at engineering, but they're great in water. I've been told by my contacts that love water and can swim underwater. They're saying some of the Alpha Centauris are way better than us. So I feel that if you're an Alpha Centauri starseed, you'll love water. And maybe you could be a starseed from Polaris, the polar star, the North Star, in Canis Minor. They have a great spiritual sense about them. And they always looking out at the stars, and they almost know that they want to be somewhere else, but they love the earth too. And they're generally good on the earth. They do well on the earth because they've adapted very well, and they're good at making money even. Not money for greed and that, but they just generally fall into the right job, or the right house might come up, the right car, for the good price. They're generally lucky like that. But they're generally very spiritual people as well. And there are so many races out there, and so many star seeds. I could go on for an hour talking about different planets and different constellations. I do know a little bit about that. And I really feel there's more I can say about many of these constellations or planets that I've mentioned. And I will try to make some videos concentrating on just one or two of them. But I have to say to you all, until next time, blessings of love and bright starlight to you all, and have a great evening, everyone.